MAUL or nothing.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of MAUL or Nothing with Ryan and Max in what was one of the most remarkable weekends of Six Nations rugby. Ireland putting in arguably the best performance perhaps in the competition's history to thrash France in Marseille. Scotland and Wales playing out an epic, unbelievable clash in Cardiff while it was the narrowest ever result in the history of England versus Italy. A lot to get through. I mean, Ryan, annoyingly, you look like you're in really nice surroundings, which is annoying because you were in the depths, I'm sure, of like boozy doldrums following a night out in Cardiff.
Oh, boys, I was on Struggle Street today. You should be happy that I'm even here. I've been in a bad way, Max. It's been a hard graft.
Why?
Very hard graft today. I might have enjoyed one too many beers last night. At the game, during the game, after the game, this morning. But I'm at the Mandarin Oriental, boys. I thought we were meeting here, so I came here, and turns out we're not. So I'm in a lovely suite. Well, one of our other sponsors, Nick, said, right, what a legend, sort me out. But no, I'm doing some filming tomorrow in London with Damien Willemse, actually. Should be quite cool. But yeah, been on Struggle Street. Seriously bad. It was a wonderful day yesterday at the Principality, but not such a wonderful evening.
Who are you out with?
Anyway.
Who are you out with?
Well, my hospitality stuff started with Ross Harries, lovely bloke, and Sam Warburton. Dropped the C-bomb about 5 minutes into my hospitality gig by accident. I know, terrible.
What?
Oh, Max, I was just like, do you know what it was? Because in Wales, obviously, when people don't recognise me or they don't know who I am, then I start speaking with an English accent and I'm a Scotland player. They're like, what is going on here? So what I do is sometimes put on a Scottish accent for a laugh. But then to get into character, to speak with a Glaswegian accent, I'll then go a bit raw and then I say swear words and I said the C word. I was like, oh no, what have I done? But it was all right. I think I covered it up. There was only like 10 kids in the room, so it wasn't that many.
Oh, God, how good.
Started off there and then met up with a few boys. Every single Welsh player you could think was there. Caught up with Shane Williams, big Scott Quinnell. Went down to Tom Shanklin, has his own hospitality tent there. Must be reeling it in. Caught up with him, Lee Byrne. Boys, Richard Hammond was there. I met Richard Hammond.
The fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that Defoe fella's filming in Wales at the moment. That's why he's over. But yeah, there you are. Got a picture with Richard Hammond.
Was he nice?
I was absolutely. I don't know why, but when I saw it, I was like, usually I wouldn't go and ask people for pictures, but I was genuinely excited. I was like, how good is that? So yeah, got a picture with him. So it was good. And then me, Barks and Aki went out into the depth of Cardiff and yeah, enjoyed a few quiets. And I woke up like a quaver on Aki Suli's sofa this morning, like just bent in half. Miserable. Absolutely miserable.
How lashed was Barks, considering he was then on the BBC? I've just watched him on the highlights programme.
Yeah, he's pretty good at smoke bombing. He disappeared. He didn't go quite as hard as us. But he's he had work today, so he had to be a bit careful, I think. Tame Plumtree as well. Lovely bloke. Aki's housemate, plays at Scarlets. Old man, obviously, Senior Plumtree, the coach at Sharks. He's a good boy, very good boy. So went out for breakfast. And it's such a small place, Cardiff. Went to Pontcanna, grabbed a bit of brekkie, walked into Gareth Anscombe, Cubby's there, Cubby boys there, and we were with a couple of other Scottish boys. It's just a lovely place, though. Have you been, Max?
To the diff?
Pontcanna.
No,
to Pontcanna.
No, I've not been.
I think it's just a place in Cardiff, but it was delightful. Lovely little coffee shops. So yeah, a nice bacon roll to get me hanging out the way, and then drove to Heathrow, dropped off the bloody rent-a-car, and then had to get a tube all the way in here. But now I'm at the Mandarin. I'm feeling a bit better. I'm feeling a little bit better.
How about you, Max? How was your weekend?
So it's been better. Not much going on. I had to move the house, obviously, so that's been a kerfuffle. What did I get up to? Watched Code. Did some odd jobs down in the tit. You know how it is. It's just horrendous. You forget how much stuff
So
you
the move is
accumulate, basically, but not quite. So all the big stuff's moved, but I've still got more heavy stuff to move. So I tried to move like all the weights. So I moved everything. The whole gym's gone. There's one last obstacle that stands in my way, which is the adamantine sandbag of the gods. Just sits there staring at me, daring me to move it up the drive and walk it to a car. I feel like I'll blow out my back and both my calves. So I'm waiting on that. So he's playing chicken with me, just staring at me. Yeah, you fancy it? I'm looking at it right now, the bastard. And then I just got to move the kitchen, and then we're all good, mate. Then we're all in. We're all cushy, but we've had some
Oh, so you're
administration.
in the old house right now, though. You're in the old house.
Oh no, right now, yeah, no, I'm in the normal house, but you can tell my many tomes of knowledge have disappeared. I'm actually currently got the laptop on the chest freezer. I'm on the wheelie chair in the corner, chatting to you, fine gentlemen, bootstrapping it.
It's funny, eh? Because do you know what? I've got the laptop sat on a bin, and the bin's on the table in this beautiful
In a
hotel.
£4,000 a night room.
They didn't give me a fucking laptop, damn the wankers.
Despicable behaviour.
We love the Mandarin. We
Yeah.
love the Mandarin. Right, Ryan, let's start with you know, witnessing one of the great matches, Scotland holding on to avoid a spectacular comeback from Wales. What a game. How
You're
annoying were you
lucky.
at half time, I'm wondering?
How annoying was I at half time? No. I genuinely, right? No, I wasn't like gloating or anything. I was just like, this is good, and I was very confident. But there was always that bit like Wales could come back. I did think it. I'll be honest. I thought they could come back, but not to that extent. But at half time, you're sitting there pretty comfortable. What was it, 21-0 at half time?
20, I think, and then you scored straight away, right?
20 at
Yeah, I
half
think.
time, 20 pints down. Bloody hell. No, I wasn't really. But yeah, half time. I actually stayed because we were in a box. So me and producer Jim were there doing a little bit of work for ball carrier. Actually, we watched the first half inside, and then I went and sat outside in the stadium for the second half, and I'm bloody glad I did because, boys, I've never seen anything like it, and the atmosphere was so good, and you just felt. I was sat next to some fella who jinxed it. Right, he goes, "Have Wales ever been nilled at home?" And I'm like, "What? Why would you say that?" Literally, as he says it, the try goes over, and he's like, "Oh no, what have I done?" And I'm like, "What have you done?" Next thing, they run in another one. We're like looking at each other, thinking, "Oh," but there were moments where I was almost cheering Wales on because I wanted to see them have a bit of a comeback and get close. Do you know what I mean? But I didn't want it to get that close, and so I was sort of. He looked at me at one point. When, are you cheering for Wales? And I was like, "No, I'm cheering for rugby. I want the comeback to happen, but to a certain extent." And then next minute, squeaky bum time. I'm like, "Okay, this can stop now." Now I'm panicking. Oh my God, boys! I thought it was a rerun in 2010. Remember that game, Max, in 2010 when Scotland? It was like 3 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Scotland was something like 14 points up, and
Spoofed
Shane
it.
Willemse actually scored that. Oh mate, I was panicking, but no, the boys got the job done. And what is mental, right, is you sat there 20-0 at half time, and Wales go and get the bonus point before you. And Scotland didn't even get a bonus point. So they'll be furious at that. Gregor Townsend, oh my God, I would have loved to be a fly on the wall in that change room after that.
You could boil an egg off that man's cranium after that.
But boys, how tough is it when you do feel those games just like slipping away and it felt like there was nothing Scotland could really do about it, and it was just the momentum had completely changed? How, you know, you've been in those situations. What's it like?
you just languish. It's just desperation. You could see it on the Scottish boys' faces. They were just waiting for the sands of time to kind of decay and hope for and just hold on for dear lives. You can just see it. You know what I mean, Ryan? When you're just like looking anywhere for something and then it's just not happening. It's like quicksand. The harder you try, the sort of more trouble you get in. And it was strangely one-sided. It was almost very sort of preordained, but hey, they were plucky enough and held on in there.
100%. And that's, that's the other issue is you then go and start forcing things, right? So I think there was 14 penalties in a row for Scotland. And you look at that and you're like, that's the desperation. That's them trying everything to just cling on and be like, please don't get away from us. And you start to see it creeping. It was so good to watch, to be fair. For a neutral, that's the best game ever. But even as a Scotland fan, watching it and really enjoying it. So, but yeah, 14 penalties on the bounce. And I think after that to 0 as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, and thank you to our other new addition to the squad in the shape of Cameron, who's given us a fabulous stat sheet. But this one really got me. After the 21st minute, Scotland conceded 17 penalties. Wales conceded 0. I mean, that's losing territory. The other one was Scotland only had 39 seconds of possession in the Welsh half in the entire second half.
Yeah, that's mental, isn't it? I did see that. I saw that yesterday.
It's a funky stat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what? Have you ever seen a game that one-sided? Because it was. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember the game, but was there a point where it was 27-0?
Yeah, so you scored directly off, or more or less off the kickoff of that. Big old Dwayne just going over in the corner after Finn had just done a classic run, offload and done.
Yeah. What about and it was another classic. It goes the length. So it was 27-0 at that point, right? To then have 26-0 the other swing, it was fucking madness. So good to watch, but
it's good rugby.
You imagine and the beautiful thing about it is imagine 2-0 at the end. Warren Gatling came out. I think he said the first half wasn't good enough, but really proud of the boys. Probably a better way to have it round. It was the most happy a Welsh fan would be after losing.
I mean,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
really weirdly proud of that. That's all you remember is the second half. Like really weirdly, I was watching it and it's all the kids. And actually on that point, Max, give us a word, somebody you know very, very well, but he seemed to really sort of make things happen. Ioan Lloyd, when he sort of came on and he looked to be doing some amazing stuff.
I told you, he's the man. I used to call him Neo. He's the one who will bring balance. Do you know what I mean? He's a special player, and he's just a renaissance back. He can do it all. And if there's one thing, it's that he can improvise on the spot. He'll just have a crack. He's all about heads up, which can get him maybe into trouble sometimes. But in a game like that, he's exactly what was necessary. He galvanized that attack. And I think everyone got their tails up just seeing the sort of zealousness and the aura of confidence he was playing with. Big fan of Yo. I was very happy for him. I was very sad they couldn't get that result in the end. I would have been so smug coming in today with that. Just the cat who got the cream by. But unfortunately.
Oh, hold on a minute. Yeah, wasn't there a forfeit, boys? Wasn't there a forfeit? I forgot about that.
Wait, how much was it? Was it a forfeit or how much was I paying? No, it was the red hot chip. It's the red hot chip of doom. I was going to eat the atomic.
I'm pretty sure there was some cash in there as well.
Pretty sure it was cash, but all right, we'll do the chip.
No, I'm pretty sure it was cash and a chip. I think it was cash and a chip.
100 quid and a
That's
chip.
Nice. That's nice, Ryan. Max has just basically spent the most he's ever spent on any single thing in the last week. Literally, he'll never spend more money than he has this week. And you're like, now, give me more money.
It's all good.
We'll roll it on to the next one. We'll roll it on to the next one. Watch, throw it on Wales beating England next week.
Oh yeah. By the way, great predictions, lads.
Yeah. By the way,
whoa! Hey, we got two pros here. They know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, but that's we're men of the people, Max. We're humans at the end of the day.
It's so, I don't know, it's quite difficult. But yeah, my DuPont storyline was completely debunked. They looked god awful without him.
Well, let's not move on to that too quick. Boys, the other thing is, did you get your Six Nations? I know that I think the app crashed, didn't it? The Six Nations.
How many teams are there? I'm 16th out of how many? I don't know. I bet it's like 20.
You did get one in then, Max.
I got my team in. Big Dwayne played for me. Obviously, I was picking Duhan Vindermother. Come here, boy. He was class. And then I knew Shuey was going to turn up. Pierre Schumann is a savage, by the way. I'm sorry. His consistency over the last few years for Scotland is a joke as a loosehead. Like, round the park, what he brings for that team. Hell of a boy. Another high veld warlord.
Hold on. So is your name on the fantasy team Svergi?
No, Gotham Rogues. After the Batman fictional team that got swallowed by the pit.
I did think that was you. Mate, you're 23rd. You're 23rd.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. I'm looking at it right now. 23rd out of 27. The worst in there is Scrum.
Talking up your game, Max. Did so well. I picked Dewey. Big Dewey. Wouldn't leave him out. Oh, hang on. I've only beaten 4 people.
How many people are in the league?
We've got 27 and you're 23rd.
I don't believe you. I'm 16th.
Clearly knows you're not. You're 20. You're definitely 23rd. I'm looking at it now, and the stat man behind us now, he's at 6th. Boys, I'm not going to tell you who I am. You can try, or I'll let people try and work out who I am in there. I'm just going to keep it a secret.
Oh man,
I can tell you.
No, that's deflated me. I'm really upset.
I can tell you that I'm easily in the top 15.
No, I'm not happy now. That's ruined my day.
You had Ethan Roots in there as your captain as well. That's quite interesting. Cool.
Oh, mate, I just knew that guy was going to tear up trees. That wasn't a bad shout, though, I thought a back rower who was going to tear up. Good one to give a...
Yeah, that's it. The other fella that was outstanding, and you got to give him tip of the hat to the man, Tommy Ruffell. Like, just 3 turnovers. He was everywhere, going after the boys. He was good. And look at Scotland. They were hammering the rucks, trying to get turnovers left, right and centre, and they just couldn't get near it. You know, you think of a Scotland back row of old, right? Minus me. They've always had like those jackalers in there, like a John Barkley. You look at like Kelly Browns and people like that. Whereas at the weekend, without like the likes of Darge and Hamish Watsons, I don't know. That was part of Scotland's game, is slam the ball down, and they didn't get any turnovers there either. So it is slightly worrying what happened in the second half. But France coming to Murrayfield. I said it, didn't I, before, boys? This is it. We're on. We're on for the Grand Slam. Here we go. Here we go.
Well, I think it's important to kind of what happened on the Friday night is what really will reframe our entire thinking around the Six Nations, right? I mean, what Ireland did. Well, I'll put it out there, boys. Do you think that was the finest team performance in the history of the Six Nations that springs to mind?
That's a big shout.
Can you think of one but we're talking about a team that's going away in Marseille, like they're away and they thrashed, and we're not talking, it's not a bad France team that doesn't have any good players or anything. Yeah, they lost their talisman, but it's not like they are, not full of absolute superstars.
Yeah, but France just looked out of sorts, didn't they? They didn't look anywhere near on the boil. It was weird, and I know you can't blame it all on the poor stepping Luku, who he's an outstanding 9, but he didn't have a very good game, did he? And they just didn't look themselves. So yeah, it was a bloody good performance by Ireland, but France for me just weren't very good at all, and maybe that dampens it down a bit. I don't know, but yeah, Ireland. And like the way that Crowley just slots in there, it was a big performance. It was a good performance, and we didn't see it, did we? We certainly didn't see it. So can we change our predictions? Can we change our thing up again? Just do it every week, change it every week.
Yeah, if you want. I mean, everyone will trust your predictions and be like, actually, I now think Ireland will beat France the week later. Interesting, though, that you're saying, okay, maybe it was just a bad France performance rather than it was a great Ireland performance, but not necessarily the greatest of greats. But who can beat that Ireland team performing like that?
No one. There's a lot. There's some real. It's not looking good, bruv. In the great words of Castillo, looking good, bruv.
No.
Unless you're an Irish fan.
It isn't. And,
it's looking like another Grand Slam, is what it's looking like. I don't know. Who can? Scotland have to play 8 minutes of code.
It's going to be difficult to upset them, isn't it? It is the way they went. McCarthy, by the way, boys.
He's a problem. Bloke's made of sandpaper.
How good?
Abrasive. Horrible. How is he doing it? Bro, he's just having one-off runs around the corner. Just man tests. Yeah, I'll have you. And you. And your girlfriends.
And again.
Mate, freak show of a bloke. I loved it. The mullet was class as well. It just really sold him. Stated, but understated. I like how he plays. Horrible. I was not familiar with your game. Now I am. Disgraceful. Big fan.
Yeah, no, he was good. And look at the way Crowley played. Like everyone was talking about it. Sexton, not around anymore. Is exactly the job. But I suppose that's where I was worrying. That's where I was thinking for Ireland. That's probably where they're going to get beaten because they're not going to have a 10 that can do. But then you just look around it. It's actually Max. Put me in there, mate. If that's
no. Let's whoa. Hold your horses. Don't disrespect them, man.
Distribute, mate. That's all he has to do. So actually, whoever you slot in there,
Gibson Park and James Lowe take a lot of kicking responsibility. You've got a seamless system of just the finest orchestrated attack. Maybe you're right. No, I don't. I disagree. I'm sorry, right? It's not quite that simple. I still think it took some cojones to go away to France and have the composure of that young man did. I think he played very well, and I'm excited for him. Yeah, but you're right. It's a good team and a good system to fall into. It does take a lot of pressure off you having that kind of seamless attack around you and that sort of level and caliber of players.
By the way, we've got an apology to make because someone. I said I would say sorry because someone did reply. We said, it doesn't matter. People don't listen in Ireland anyway. They do. And the lady said that she was very upset and that they do have followers. We do have followers from Ireland. So,
hello. Say hello to our wonderful followers.
We love you guys. She is. Excuse me. We do listen in Ireland. Maybe we shouldn't.
Oh, please don't. Yeah. Please don't.
Yeah. Alain Lavelle. So I said, sorry, Fiona. We'll make him apologise next week.
In your head.
I'm sorry that we said you don't listen in Ireland, and please carry on listening. Oh, and whilst you're at it, rate us 5 stars.
God, you're charming, aren't you?
I love it. Also, you tagged on that apology at the end of I could play 10 for Ireland. Yeah, having just basically slagged off. Like that said, I got absolutely mauled on a WhatsApp sort of rugby chat of guys I used to play with, and the question was, how do you think your boys are going to do tonight? And I went, simple. I'd probably only Gibson Park and Lowe would get into this France team, none of the others. So easy. I literally and it's there, and then it just gets responded to nonsense. Even now, 2 days later.
No. Let's analyze what you just said there. Who did you say?
I know, it's awful now. It's awful. It's awful. I literally was like, the only ones I take, Gibson Park, and just because Mavaka was playing out on the on the wing or whatever it was, and anyway.
Wait, Josh Van der Fleer,
your mates were Mark.
I know. Someone was but then Josh Van der Fleer versus Olivon.
Olivon is cool, but man, Josh Van der Fleer is a savage. He's a green assassin. I don't know.
I'm very biased. But when you go head to head, you're like, come on, Olivon's sick. Anyway, I mean, the proof is in the pudding that genuinely it was hilarious because obviously Gibson Park scores, and then the first text was like, I guess we'll just wait for James Lowe to do his bit next. And then obviously Lowe was doing sick things, and then it was just pylon after pylon. Everybody loves hitting a Frenchman, so it was just it was really.
France has Ireland has the most 30-year-olds in their team this year. by a
Oh,
bit,
really?
not by a little bit, by a fair bit, like a significant number of them. So it does paint a sort of interesting picture. So we weren't completely off our heads when we made our prediction right, but we were, sadly.
Yeah, guys, bearing in mind as well, and again, we're full of stats today, but the previous biggest win by Ireland in France was in 1948, and that was by 7 points. I mean, this is like, it is a result that is so against historical trends.
Okay, got you. So maybe it is that big. I always think the opening game of Six Nations, though, is sort of like, it's a write-off. Form books go out the window. Let's see what the crack-a-lackin's going. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what's just dawned on me as well? It just dawned on me. Think how pissed off they'll be when they come to Murrayfield next week. Oh God! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! They're gonna be up for it, aren't they? They're gonna be frothing at the bit. Sean Edwards is gonna have them knocking lumps of shit at each other all week.
Oh, can you imagine? Can you imagine?
God.
He is going to be only the 4th time in a Six Nations game he's conceded more than 3 times. Sean Edwards' defense.
Oh,
that's
he'll
an
be furious,
outrageous stat. That is unreal from the big fella. Oh well, he'll be. Yeah, that's going to get weird.
Listen to our stat sheet now. We're so pro, eh?
Yeah, we've got our little Rain Man. Cam, shout out to Cam, our little rugby Rain Man.
Guys, let's talk about. I mean, whether this would have impacted the game really in any way because of the way Ireland were playing. But let's have a quick word for poor old Paul Willemse with effectively 2 red cards, right? I mean,
God.
how did you guys see it?
What is he up to? Like, you can't just come straight back on and then just take someone's head off again. I was just looking at him like, oh, what's this he done?
That wasn't good. That was so bad, wasn't it? I was so sad about that. That really kind of ruined it, but I'm not sure it would have made much difference. Before that, Ireland looked like they should have been further ahead than they were, like when it was close. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with
obviously
you.
that sort of catalyzed the defeat, but ultimately, I don't know how much it would have changed things. But man, Willemse,
Here's
you
a
want to
question
see
for
that on
you.
field?
Did 2 yellows get you a ban? Like, does it that just mean?
Yeah. It does go to. I think we discussed.
He's getting a spank bastard. Right, he's getting a spank
boys, how much does?
How
much does, once you've had a yellow, right? And then, not to compare with other sports, but in football, for instance, when there's a yellow, you will see the players, they change the way they play. It's very rare that they, still trying to, they try and avoid what's going to happen. Whereas in rugby, right, do you still also have that thought in the back of your head, or do you never really think I'm ever going to get a second yellow that would automatically be a red regardless?
I've never been in that situation, honestly. I mean, I've been yellowed, but I've never been yellowed for a high shot.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter what you get yellowed for.
Yeah, you're still yellowed.
So that's saying that. No, I don't think it does run across your mind at all. It's never something I thought about. I would just come back on from a yellow card. You would never think, oh, I've got to be careful here. So it doesn't. I don't think it crosses players' minds.
It depends what the penalties are for, though. If it's like team penalties for hands and breakdown or falling over, but where the ball's being presented, do you know what I mean? Like tackler in the way. Then of course you change the way you're attacking breakdowns. I definitely do. I'm not going to start running around doing trying to be Tommy Reffel. Do you know what I mean? I'm just going to chill, leave men out of the rucks.
Yeah, no, I understand that. But I think what Mark's saying is, if you've been yellowed for a high shot, do you come back on and then worry about what you're doing at all in the match?
No, because I don't tackle like a lunatic.
No, it doesn't.
Was that first one a red in your mind?
Nah, I don't think it was.
Nah, it was a yellow. It was fine, but it was bad. It was still bad, though.
It was bad, but I feel like, I don't know, I think the refs did a bloody good job this weekend with all that sort of stuff. There was a lot of common sense being used this weekend. I didn't understand it when he said we were upgrading it to a red or something. No, there was something happened in the second
messed
one.
it up. Yeah, it should have been straight red. So he was trying to say it's a second yellow, but it can't be. It has to be just straight red.
Yeah, I was trying to work out what he was going on about. But
I think he was trying to say to him the degree of the actual incident as a one-off to him was a yellow, but it should have just been straight red because it was a second yellow. But it was pretty bad.
Hey boys, do you know how excited I am to get on the toilet, by the way? You know, because it's got the squirty up your bum thing here. I'm actually so excited.
That distracted of that. Come on, man.
Is that what's going on in the back of your mind whilst we're discussing, like, Willemse literally like melting someone's head, and you're like, oh, I just want to get a thing up my bum.
It's a veneer of coaching.
No,
he wants to irrigate his orifice.
I just think, why would you not have that? Why would you not have a toilet that cleans your bum? Like, I actually think I might invest in one. They're quite expensive. I've been online.
It is. I sort of get what you mean, though. Like, it makes sense if you think about it. Because with every other body part, when you wash it, you use water and soap or whatever. But when it comes to, like, English people taking a shit, they just wipe it with toilet paper.
Like sandpaper it into the skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You could pick them up for 800 quid. You get 800 quid. I don't think that'd be very good. It'd probably have only one power setting. I like the 3 different, and there's like a spritzer, and then like
spritzer,
like moves. Yeah, there's one there. It moves. It's like it sprays and moves forward and backwards. I don't know what that's for. It's almost like your gooch. But yeah, incredible. Just an incredible thing. And I just can't understand why we don't have more of them in the UK.
Just massage the prostate, please.
Okay.
You've got issues,
let's
real deep issues. Right, on to the next game.
I feel like it's almost let's move on to the next next game.
You're sick.
I don't know, Matt, you've really got us there, Ryan. Like, literally, I think you're done. Were you done with France Island? Just come and talk about irrigating your bum.
Yeah, but that's what people come here for. They don't all come here for the rugby, so we've got to keep some toilet chat as well.
Come for the rugby, stay for the B-Day. Ryan, hit us up and Max with more information on our wonderful ticket giveaway for a weekend with Ryan Wilson, staying at Ryan Wilson's house.
His army is fucking.
I've seen some comments. I can't wait to like hang out with Ryan.
Oh, well, maybe we throw that in there. But yeah, you can if you. When we need to decide when we're going to bloody give the tickets away. I reckon we need to probably go Tuesday. So we'll leave it one more day once this goes out. So you've got to jump over to the YouTube. What is it called? The YouTube what?
MAUL or Nothing YouTube channel. MAUL or Nothing. It's at MAUL or Nothing YouTube channel. At MAUL or Nothing. Hit subscribe. Hit a comment on that particular video that we've got up, which is the ticket giveaway, and leave a review as well if you want.
Yeah, that's all you got to do, and they can win tickets to Scotland, France, a very angry French team. Gosh, I'm worried. Yeah, so jump over there and do that stuff. Go and do it now.
Let's move on to England versus Italy. Max, let's get your Englishman's take. It felt solid, if unspectacular, particularly if we see it through the prism of the Ireland performance. Come on, give it to a Scotsman, Welshman, Frenchman.
Well, first half I thought was really entertaining. It was spectacular rugby from both teams. I really enjoyed it. I thought the guys that Stephen Borthwick blooded, so sort of the exciting new faces, let's say. We'll go through them. Ethan Roots, unbelievable game, strong game. I wasn't surprised. I think he's that kind of player. He could prove to be a very, very sort of dangerous test match animal. Mate, playing Ethan Roots in the Prem is so weird. First time I played him was in pre-season, right? I was like, who is this geezer? Mate, he like does stuff. It doesn't make sense. He like cleans backward like he's doing a backstroke over breakdowns. He's that desperate to get you. Right, you've never seen anything like it. You'd love him. Mate, he is so desperate on decimating other people. He has to win every like collision. At the bottom of breakdowns, he's like holding on to you. Man, and he does it for that 80 minutes, mate. He's like, oh man, class athlete.
big old lump as well, like
Mate, big
huge
goose.
lump. So
Used to be like a grappler as well, like a very high level grappler in jiu-jitsu. That's where that ticker comes from. Horrible bloke. Don't want to mess around with him. But he's been superb. I was real happy to see him in the back row there.
who's the other one then? Because Dingwall.
Right. So okay, he missed 5 tackles, joint most of any player. Although ironically, do you want to know who the other? This is for the again harshest, weirdest kind of pointless stat. But the other person who missed 5 tackles was, and we've mentioned him in the show, Joe McCarthy.
Oh, was it?
Was it?
Yeah, so,
my
but
God.
the juxtaposition of the two, right, is insane because you're like, in your mind, he had an amazing game, whereas Fraser Dingwall didn't have the perhaps the best of games. But that was a pretty harsh kind of entry into the Six Nations, did we think?
Yeah, it didn't have the best game, did he? It's and
but there's been worse debuts. There's been far worse debuts than
I
that.
know.
It's no need to
But
chuck
does
the
that-
baby
you know,
out
does-
with the bathwater. Yeah. No, I hope he gets
no,
another
of course.
run. 100%. Hope he gets another run. But obviously Tommy Freeman brought his Saints form straight to Rome. That was disgraceful. He just looks like a problem, doesn't he? Ginormous, like dynamic, can change like direction on dime. Fantastic. I'm really, really pumped to watch. And Alex Mitchell. Oh, mate, the Saints boys just bringing it. So yeah, I'm quite excited by this England, like the new look England vibe. It's been, I think there was a lot to be excited about as an England fan, genuinely. And I thought Italy were just.
Yeah, but there was hold on a minute. There was a moment where you looked and you're like, hold on a minute, are Italy going to do this? So remember.
But I was like, at the same time, I was like, yeah, they're not going to do it. Do you know what I mean? I was like, they're going to be good. They're still going to get. I knew Italy were going to be better. We knew they were going to be better this year. I knew they were going to be better anyway. I thought they would be. But I still thought, you know what, England's just going to grind this out. George Ford at the helm.
Yeah, it's exactly what we said about Italy as well. Like getting so close and then falling towards the end. So
See, I mean,
you hate to say it, but
it just happens. Yeah, they sort of were there again in the same way. But Monty Ioane, oh my God, oh my Ioane, outrageous. If he gets the ball more, him and Menoncello just need to get as many touches as possible. Those two are problems, like really dangerous. Playing really good rugby for their club.
Yeah, well, we talked about Menoncello, didn't we? We said he was going to be. We said he was going to be the standout player for us, and he was good. He was very good, like all over the park. Puts in an absolute shift. So he's definitely a player to watch. He's probably. Do you know what? I'm going to chuck him in my fantasy team because I don't have him in there. So I might swap him in for someone else. I can't remember who I put in there at the moment. I had a Hugh Jones. I don't want to give it too much away because I don't want people knowing what my team is. But make sure you jump on there and join the league, by the way, anyone that's out there. Mark, did you not manage to do a team?
Mate, I literally tried 3 times and it was like, it chucked me out. And I had the kid, because I've got the kids on my own this weekend because I lose away. And I was literally like, the frustration, I couldn't direct it at anything. So I'm not going to direct it at my kids. I can't sign up for a fantasy league. But I'm also, who am I angry at? Am I angry at the Six Nations? Am I angry at the app? Am I angry at you guys for forcing me to join it? So it was really, I was confused for a lot of it. I was confused.
Wonderful. That's wonderful.
In any case, just a word on that Menoncello, though. He made second most meters of any player across the Six Nations the weekend. 10 tackles, which is joint second most of any back, and 2 line breaks. And there was only Rio Dyer made more with 3. So, yeah, and he's 21. So, like, there's some exciting kind of prospects in that Italian side. And for the neutral, it was a great watch. But watching them ball in hand, I thought, particularly in the first half, it was like, ooh, a couple of those tries with the offloads, it was fabulous.
Yeah, they were good. And we did say it. Listen, we're not writing them off. I think looking at how they went, I reckon they're going to get it. Who else have they got at home? That's the big question. They've got Scotland at home. Have they got 3 games at home or just 2?
Yeah, they've only got 2.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, I'm not going to say what I was going to say then because I reckon they'll get a win, but it's going to be one of their games at home. But that's Scotland, so that can't be the case. I bloody hope it's not the case. But you feel like they're going to get a win. You feel like they're going to get a win in the Six Nations, and they bloody deserve it because, you know, we talk about the way Benetton are going second in the URC. They've got the majority of that Benetton team in the Italian squad, so they're looking good, and I want them to do better. So, but I don't want them to beat Scotland. So maybe it'll be another game. Maybe they'll beat France, boys.
It was quite nice seeing. We've discussed it, and we do it, of course, in our own version of watching Full Contact, which is a great watch, I'm sure. But Seb Negri, getting his background, getting everything that he's done, and then seeing him sort of, you know, out there, and you can see he's one of the names that is. It's brought up the profile of Italian rugby, I think, by having him feature so much.
Yeah, obviously very important exposure for all the sort of big faces of each team. I thought Seb Negri had a good game though. Really, really, really well played. But lads, I'm excited about that England back row I'm just putting out there. We got Sam Underhill, the White Hawk. We got the Earl of Marseille, the Renaissance back row who can do it all in Ben Earl. And then we've got the lab experiment that is Ethan Roos, some kind of weird, like wild raving New Zealander they've just brought out of the wilderness and just rolled out. He looks class. I'm buzzing for it. Obviously,
Max, are you all right? We're just talking about.
we're talking about
Italy.
negative, but then
fine,
I wanted
Max
to talk
is-
about England
you know,
again. I was like, there's a
there
lot
you
about
go.
England I like. And they played some cool stuff, lads. They actually played some positive rugby.
Max, can
I'm
I
here
just
for
say
it.
how enjoyable it is to have you? You know, when Max when we're talking, Max and I, Ryan's thinking about sprays up his bum. When you and I are talking, Ryan, Max is thinking, "Gosh, I love the England's back row." So thank you, Max, for keeping a bit of rugby decorum on the show. So actually, you're very positive, despite the fact that is the closest game England and Italy have ever played in the history of that clash, both at World Cups and Six Nations. They've never had a 3-point margin. From your perspective, sort of thumbs up.
I genuinely, I'm thumbs up about it. I think Italy are a growing beast. I think they're a lot better than we're giving them credit for. And I believe that England are on the up.
England are just happy to get the win. It's beautiful to see, eh? Just happy to get the win,
I
boys.
can't wait for England to beat Scotland. I am buzzing for that game. Buzzing.
Oh, here we go. Right, come on then.
No,
Here we
I'm
go.
buzzing. All I'm saying is I'm excited. I can't wait. It's going to be good.
But you don't actually think they're going to beat Scotland, do you?
Bro, you almost lost to like Wales under 20s or almost like...
Oh, here we go. This is exactly what I want, Matt. So you reckon because you've just gone over and beaten the Italians?
No,
right,
I
that
don't
you can
reckon
sub-
anything. I'm just saying I'm looking
It's
forward
not
to
up
the
to mine.
content. I reckon nothing because clearly my punditry skills and my crystal ball is very cloudy. It is god awful. So I'm just going to watch. I'm going to watch and enjoy the spectacle that is the Six Nations. And I look forward to England v Scotland. It should be a good one.
It will be a good one. But I'm thinking that those Welsh under-20s might come and do England next week at Twickenham. That's what I'm expecting.
Is that your genuine prediction, or is it that your hate for that your xenophobia for England?
No. I genuinely think that those Welsh boys, after that second half, they have got a bit between their teeth, and they're coming to Twickenham.
Yeah.
And
Wainwright and Reffel. Oh man, there's a lot of problems. I still think Rollins should start though. I'm going to die on that hill. Will Rollins needs to start, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But I think he's the man. But yeah, Wales looking class. I wonder what Warren does though going forward for selection. Does he change it up a lot? Because obviously all that second half performance came a lot from sort of the changes, didn't it? So it'll be interesting to see what he does.
Yeah, okay. And then interesting to see, do you reckon England go with the same team this week then? Do you reckon England don't change their team?
Depends on I feel like they'll probably put if I don't know how long Genge is out, but I imagine they probably start him for this one if he's fit. Does Dingwall does he keep the shirt, or do they put someone else in?
Well, who would they put in? You reckon they get someone like we spoke about Daly, didn't we, coming in? Well, who were we talking about? No,
Daly was on the edge. Yeah, Daly was on the edge, but they could I suppose they could put Daly in and then put Faye Boso on the edge.
But it's worth pointing out that Borthwick he was at pains to say afterwards that these boys, these new players will have many caps for England. And I think that was because, he was asked about that particular performance from Fraser Dingwall, and he was like, no, it's, he's come in, and there was no negativity. And I think by pointing that out, the impression is given that these guys are going to have a chance, which we want to see that, right? We don't want
100%.
the old Eddie Jones, bring him in and discard him.
No, I hope he does
Yeah,
start.
you got to give
I hope
him.
he does start. Yeah.
I want to see Finn Smith start, though, boys. I'm just desperate to see him start.
Yeah, I think he'll get his chance at some point. Team of the week. Let's go.
We chucked out on our Twitter that we were looking for people's teams of the week, and we've picked a winner. It's Andrew Peter Upton. He's got back row Max to keep you happy. Wayne Wright at 8, Tommy Raffel, and Ethan Roots.
Yeah, I couldn't pick that better. He's nailed that.
Good work, Andrew. We're happy with that. Ty Byrne and Joe McCarthy in the second row. Mate, Ty Byrne, we didn't even mention him. He was fucking...
Yeah, he was cool, wasn't he? Yeah, he looked gassed at that try, though. But, mate, unbelievable performance.
He's gone for Schumann, Sheehan, and Antonio in the front row.
Yeah.
Shuey Sheehan.
Any changes there, Matt? I'm happy with that.
Yeah, that's you're right. That is the front row. He's on flames.
Gibson Park and Russell 9 and 10. You got Van der Merwe and Freeman on the wings.
Yep.
Definitely Van der Merwe had a brilliant game. Freeman, yeah, he was good. He was good. Menoncello, who we've already said we absolutely loved at 12, and Slade 13.
Ooh, Slade was busy though, wasn't he? He was charging up a lot of ball.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
I'd get Slade out of there.
Was he the best centre?
Menoncello in. Yeah.
Who'd you have?
I don't know.
Bundy was good.
He's obviously trying to make it,
he's trying to
spread
make
out
it
a little bit.
Bring the pass.
Bundy a key. And he's got Tommaso Allen at 15. Well, there you have it. So he has them. So Andrew Peter Upton, bloody good team of the week. Well done, mate. And you've, I don't know what you've won. You've won nothing. You've just won the fact that we've read that out.
The respect.
It's that time of the week, boys. I'm just going to say a massive thank you once again to our sponsor, that is Wolf Craig Distillers. You can head over to their Wolf Craig website, which is, Max?
wolfcraig.com.
That is it. Head over there. You can check out their gins, their whiskey, all their lovely little bits of things, and give them a follow on their Instagram handle as well. They've been very good to us, and we're going to be very good to them. Thank you to Wolf Craig.
And actually also give us a follow on our Instagram page and our YouTube channel. And as we said earlier on in the show, do head to the MAUL or Nothing, at MAUL or Nothing on YouTube, to comment and like and subscribe on particularly our last video for a chance to win 2 tickets to Scotland versus France, which promises to be an epic up in Edinburgh. But as always, a huge thank you to Ryan and to Max and to you all for listening and watching. And we have got a special midweek catch up, haven't we, Ryan? With who?
We have, boys. We're chatting tomorrow to Ioane Tuipulotu, and we're going to find out everything that was said at the end of the game, I think, because clearly they were sitting back, feet up at half time, the boys. So we'll get all the inside scoop on what happened in that game against Wales from none other than Ioane Tuipulotu. So that will be out on Tuesday morning. It'll be a short one, but it'll be a good one.
Brilliant. But thank you all, and we will see you all next week.
Peace.
Ta-ta. MAUL or Nothing.